Yo, 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 what's that word? Third 12 Minute Podcast, episode 62. In for the release of NCAA 25. They just saw me change shirts, but I had to go put on that Florida State at FSU. I ain't got them in the dynasty yet. I ain't played with them, but hey, we here. How y'all boys doing tonight?
Doing good, good.
Doing good, man. Trying to keep it in there in the dynasty.
For sure. Before we get started, I would like to say beware of this man Khalil. If y'all do come and join our dynasty, which is still open to everybody, we just get into the end of season one. We still got the Discord going on. We've been joining. Well, yeah, we've been joining all types of groups. I've been in talks with people, so we might have some people coming in, but everybody's welcome until we get up to 32, of course. Without further ado, the first topic I want to talk about is a big one, what I think is going on in the game of the WNBA, and that's the $200 million increase to their yearly payroll that they're going to have. So, Byron, how you feel about that, and where do you think this all came from?
Oh man, no, I'm loving it for sure. It's something great for the WNBA, for their players. I mean, they've been underpaid for years. I mean, Maya Moore, Lisa Leslie, like even back into those days, like those people have been very underpaid. Getting paid in like the high 200,000, something like that, 300,000, and now you're about to have a 500% increase. Hey, a lot of these players like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark about to get paid. I'm loving it.
How you feel, Khalil?
I agree with Byron. I like it. Definitely a step going in the right direction. I feel like the popularity of the WNBA has grown tremendously this
Yeah,
season, with Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, just all those rookies coming in and pretty much making differences on their team. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese made the All-Star team, who just knocked off the women's team or the women's USA team. Feels like I said, it's a step in the right direction. I feel like this is just more showing of what's to come as the popularity of the WNBA becomes more. So yeah,
they probably gonna end up getting more games on their schedule too with this high increase in money. The schedule will probably be a little bit longer, which is in turn better.
Facts. I had a good talk with my family about this. I'm glad it's not coming from a place where it's like you feel sorry for the woman. I think it's really coming from a place of increased marketing opportunities with more marketing stars. Like you already mentioned, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. But I also think it goes to show that you got stars coming after them with
Yeah,
Paige Buckners and Juju Lewis. Juju
Watkins.
Watkins.
Watkins. Sorry.
Yeah,
Juju
she getting
Watkins
buckets
for
in
USC.
USC.
Right. I think she has a chance when she comes in to have a Candace Parker type impact. Um, Potentially going to be the best player in the league by her second or third year, competing with
I
the
can see
people
that.
that we already talking about. And that's not discredit any other star that just came in. I think Brittany Griner has been a star for a long time. I had a crush on her in middle school. I know
Whoa.
somebody's gonna see
Prime,
this and they're gonna say so. Hey, it is
prime.
what it is. It is what it is. So,
Candace Parker.
hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was about to say something crazy.
That man was trying to
Prime.
climb the tree.
What you said? From
Facts.
three.
Boy, like climbing trees.
Georgia the jungle,
Hey,
man.
what? In
Hey.
middle school, I probably would have went over there to Russia to save. No, I was just playing. But um, but just getting back on topic, man. 200 mil. That's no joke. Those.
Yeah.
No, they were making at the highest amount. I think
30.
maybe 100,000, close to 100,000, around 76K,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna see more of them making millions and stuff like that. Now it's gonna be nowhere close to the men, where you got some guys, Jalen Brunson. We're gonna talk about him in the conversation. Just signed for over 200 million, but well, close to it. But again, we're gonna talk about
Nah.
that. But at the same time, I think it's great for the women's game. I think they are making great business moves on and off the court. I'm excited about the future of it. Speaking of a topic that I just brought up, Jalen Brunson. He had an opportunity to wait to the end of this coming season and sign an extension for around 250 million. Instead, he chose to take a team-friendly extension this summer, which was for about 170 million, essentially leaving about 150 million on the table. I wouldn't say put y'all self in that position. How you feel about it? But what is y'all thoughts surrounding that whole transaction?
That's your guy. Go ahead, Khalil.
I don't know. Like I said, from a Knicks fan aspect, I'm like all for it and stuff. But just with the type of star and everything Jalen Brunson is, I feel like he deserves to get paid that money. But also, with being a WA or NBA player, you have to think about injuries and stuff. What if something happens? Maybe it could have been something like that. Maybe he's trying to actually keep the team that they have right now glued together for a while. So like I said, coming from a Knicks fan, I love the deal. I like it because I'm hearing Mikal Bridges is probably looking at doing the same thing. Give us just some kind of flexibility when it comes to free agency and making a few more trades. As I feel like they're one of the top teams in the East. I feel like we get another few pieces that mesh well together. We could potentially give the Celtics a run for their money. But like I said, that's just coming from a biased Knicks fan.
By the way, if y'all hear crunching, that's my dog just deciding she want to come eat at 10 o'clock at night. But you can go ahead, Byron.
Nah, like Khalil said, man, from a smart business and injury side, also playing for Tom Thibodeau, where he will play you into the ground. All the minutes. You playing 48. If it's 48 minutes, you playing 48. So he's just looking for his future. But as in me being want to be a business person, to leave 150 on the table is insane. Like I don't really care about keeping the team together. We gonna play with what we got and give me my bread. Cause at 250 compared to the 170, nah.
Um, I feel
Good for him
like,
and his family though.
yeah. Regardless, it's generational wealth, but I do think that I'm not gonna say I don't understand why he's doing it. I don't agree with that decision. I'm already of the proponent that these guys look. I'm gonna say this first. I'm already proponent that these guys are getting paid way too much. But on the flip side, it's about what somebody is willing to pay you in business. So if they're willing to pay him that, then they're willing to pay him that. I just don't like the idea of people taking discounts from billionaires. Like, I get it. I get it. Is there's a salary cap, there's a hard cap, and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not up to the players to build teams. It's up to organizations. So I honestly think, man, Jalen, I get it that injuries could have happened, but I honestly think he should have played out this year, got that bread, and let the chips fall where they may. I still think the Knicks would have put up a great team out on the floor. Maybe would have lost one piece or something like that. But at this point, I think it's in the best interest of the team to maybe lose one of those pieces because there's so many hands that are going to want to touch the ball. I mean, next year you're going to have Randall back. You got OG, Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart still there, and Brunson. And I don't know if Nick Bryan ended up going to Detroit. Khalil will probably know that better than me as a Knicks fan. But I think he ended up going to Detroit. He was a good backup point guard. But anyways, they got so many players and so many mouths to feed anyways, you might need to thin out that rotation a little bit as far as the offensive hierarchy and things of that nature. So back to the money side of things, me personally, I'm not going to say it was a mistake. I would just say I feel like it was ill-advised. Even if maybe it was his decision. It has to be your decision when you make those types of choices. It has to be your decision because there's no way your agent is going to be like, take this pay cut because the agent's trying to get paid regardless.
Yeah.
So I know the agent was probably like, "Hey, Jalen,
that's 20 million he done missed out on.
Right, that's a few
20
million.
million. Not
So,
about because his agent's percentage around 12 at 15 the max. So he missing out on
15.
about he missing out on about a good 20-21 million dollars. Like bro
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, big man.
Yeah.
But
But
at
he
the end of
signed the
the day,
contract, so
thanks. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not sure who Jalen Brunson agent is. I don't want to say it used to be the current GM of the Knicks, but at the end of the day, he made a decision. I think we all had good insight on it.
I think what's called, just to add on what you were saying about the ball, too many hands for the ball. I do think Julius Randle will probably be the odd man out and wind up getting traded at some point.
Facts.
I do
So y'all
think
need a
that.
better because we're losing the big man. I think y'all need another solid big man. If y'all can get rid of Randall and get a couple more pieces off the bench and a solid big man, y'all will be fine. It'll like y'all pretty much y'all keep going into the same direction y'all was in last year compared
You get
to
rid of Randall, get a little big that can stretch the floor and rebound in his place.
I don't know
That'd be
about
straight.
stretch the flow. I don't know that
Like
there's that many out there.
Somebody replaced the production of Hardenstein, but again, also stretch the floor as well. I think that'll be exactly what they need. And then I'll be willing to put them right there with the Celtics, honestly. But and the Sixers, you can't, count them boys out, but right there with the Celtics at least.
Tough.
They gotta show me.
I did. Next thing we conversate on is Bronny James. Bronny James. They just finished up summer league. The Lakers are sending them down for the last game, along with the number 17 pick, in Max Christie as well. How do y'all feel that LeBron Jr. showed this year in the summer league? And what y'all think gonna be the next phase for him, like right directly after this? Not getting to the season yet, but right after this. What do you think he needs to be doing after this?
Preparing for the G League. Preparing for the G League. I think he can be a wonderful player. I think he's just caught up in a lot of the controversy. Like he's been in the spotlight, but not really in the spotlight like this NBA kind of light. And it's something kind of different for him. And he kind of performed decently in his last two games. 12 and 13 in his last two games. Putting up decent shots. But I think he just struggled as coming in. A lot of the scrutiny, dealing with the reporters and being on TV as a young man. I mean, 14 for 40, 3 for 19, and I'm just averaging only 9 points. I feel like he can do a little bit better than that. I think if he's can develop his game a lot and get it to the NBA, he can be a solid 12 to 15 point scorer. And he just got to learn how to initiate the ball better. But the Lakers really didn't give him that opportunity in this summer league because he never really even brought the ball up. So that kind of made it hard for him to actually even initiate the offense. He only averaged 1 assist in these 4 games, which is very, very tough when you're a 6'1" point guard and you're not even handling the ball. I think he's going to be getting ready for the G League and from there develop, be a little less in the spotlight and see what he does. I say by mid-season he'll be on the Lakers roster.
Like I said, first 2 games of summer league were pretty bad for Bronny. I feel like he showed what his potential could be with those last 2 games. But like I said, your father's LeBron James. I mean, you have his name. People just automatically assume you're supposed to live up to his potential, which I feel like and then he's not going to live up to LeBron's potential. He still has everything that he needs to one day become a good, dependable player in the league. But fans, haters, all people don't realize that. And then like I said, probably start in the G League. I know at some point during the season he's going to be on the Lakers roster because LeBron's going to make it that point to where he gets to play with him on the court, even if it's for a minute or whatever it's for. But like I said, I don't think he should have left college, so it's kind of hard. But once he develops, gets that, I guess we can say with this year, as long as he's healthy and he gets that full year of development and playing that he didn't get in college because of what happened, I feel like that's when he'll start getting back into the flow of actual basketball things, and we'll be able to see him kind of climb the rankings in the Lakers organization to eventually becoming, in a couple years, I want to say a rotational player or a player that's always in the rotation.
Honestly, I've been extremely impressed with LeBron James Jr. with Bronny. I've been extremely impressed with Bronny throughout the summer league. I think he showed advanced ball handling skills that he didn't always get to show in college. He is a guy that only played a certain amount of months in college ball. He came back with the season already underway, coming off a life-threatening type situation. And to see him, I think people are looking at him as LeBron James' son when they really should look at him like even his numbers in summer league: 9 points, 4 rebounds and assists, and that didn't include any steals or blocks he had. And we know he's a better defensive player at this point than an offensive player, especially on ball. That production for a number 55 overall pick is extremely. Was it number 55? Yeah, number 55 overall pick is extremely impressive. It shows that he could be on the back end of that roster. I'm not sure Bronny will have to go to the G League. I think I'm not saying he can contribute. I'm saying he's at least can be on the traveling squad, can practice with the main team, provide solid defense and practice, learn the game from his father as well as Anthony Davis and some other veterans on that Lakers roster. Maybe get if they feel like they need to give him some in-game reps so he can learn how it is to react to substitutions coming in when certain players are maybe need heat check moments. And again, in blowouts, he can get experience of traveling, being on the road all the time because he's going to end up playing. The Lakers didn't give him a 4-year, nearly guaranteed contract for him to not be on the active roster eventually, at least by year 2. So I was extremely impressed with Bronny. I think JJ Redick is going to have a solid, I'm hoping, he has a solid game plan for him to put him in positions to succeed. I wasn't as impressed with the three-point shot. And generally his shots were wide open, but at the same time, he started to get it going towards the end of the summer league there as he got comfortable playing against NBA competition, NBA physicality, NBA size, NBA rhythm. He's shooting from a farther distance from the three-point line. It's more, the spacing is vastly different from college. And, Bronny was only in college for a few months. He's really used to playing in high school gyms. And now he's playing against NBA competition in NBA gyms. I think he dealt well with the spotlight. I don't think that he mishandled anything there, so I was impressed with that. Even though as a number 55 overall pick, he's on all the summer league posters. So that was good to see from Bronny. And I was impressed by him. And I think that from here on out, he just needs to work on his game. Obviously, he's going to begin as a role player. Work on the shot. I know that distance is probably affecting him a little bit. So just work on his shot, get in a rhythm, keep working on his shot. He don't have to worry about Bron standing behind him like, hey, you need to do this, do that, because LeBron is in the Olympics. And with that, it's a good transition point to transition to our next topic, which is USA basketball. Byron, we'll start off with you. How do you feel about how Team USA is performing in the Olympics?
Oh man, so they've been up and down kind of play. That starting unit, trying to switch it out, trying to figure out what kind of starting five they want to go with the USA basketball. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what the final stretch is. Even then, I don't think it's going to be final. I think throughout the actual tournament, they're going to be still changing up the starting lineup. And Kevin Durant still hasn't played, so I think it'll help a little bit more with the flow of the offense. having that kind of a shooter in the game because Kevin Durant is like he can play with anybody. He's just here to the hoop, as he most famously said. Um, I mean, beating teams like Canada with Jamal Murray and Shea, Australia, Serbia beating the former champion in Jokic, and having a fight against South Sudan. That was very very surprising. They were down for most of that game and didn't win towards until the end. So I think the USA has to focus a little bit more. And keep the pedal down and stay on the gas and blow a lot of these teams out, which they should be with all the offensive scoring power we have on this team. I mean, when you have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, AD, and likes of these guys coming off the bench, it's crazy.
And
And yeah, and that man coming off the bench, like that's wild. Yeah, I feel like we're still gonna win gold. I feel like we'll still win gold. They just need to, like I said, keep that pedal down and keep pushing a lot of these teams because we play Germany next, our last little exhibition game, and I feel like we're gonna steamroll them, and that's gonna be something nice to go into the actual tournament.
oh, I go there.
Oh,
No,
but I'll
no.
go. But no. Like Byron said, it's been up and down. We've seen the good with Team USA and the bad. I feel like it's all just kind of a learning process. These guys never really all played together before, obviously, so they're still kind of trying to get that chemistry going on. I still don't believe, or I still don't know and believe that at any point Team USA should have been down 15 points to South Sudan. I feel like that's kind of pushing the limits there. It did show something that they were able to battle back through the adversity and pull off the win because I know there would have been a lot of people talking and you would have seen a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff on social media getting blown up if they would have lost. They need to get back on track when they play Germany. I mean, their hardest competition thus far, I feel like, was what, Canada. And
Canada.
they beat them by double digits. So, like I said, it's really just more of them
Very.
kind of gelling together. Um, as I think they've only been together, practicing together for like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Let me ask
like I
y'all.
said, they have the talent to have bad games and still be able to win. It's more of I just don't want to have to deal with that kind of stress because I do expect them to bring the gold back and I want them to do it convincingly.
Hey, that point guard can say he dropped the triple double on LeBron James today. What are you talking about?
Hey,
And that's crazy. LeBron's still the go-to in crunch. And when it comes down to it, LeBron's still that
Yeah.
go-to.
Yeah, he took control. I ain't gonna lie. He started just driving that thing to the rim, shooting threes, all kind of.
so let me ask both of y'all because I have my own theory on this, and not to put y'all on the spot, but that's my job here tonight. Why do y'all think that it seems to be like these games are closer than they were in the past, in the not so distant past, but in the present times, like the past couple World Cups, tournaments, Olympics, and things like that? The USA has actually lost games and been in some close battles when it seems like we have the overwhelming talent advantage.
You want to go first, She?
Oh, first, I feel like the rest of the world's catching up when it comes to talent. I
Facts.
feel like some places in the world are further behind than other places, but places like Germany, France, Canada, feel like they've all caught up. Argentina has always given Team USA a run for the money at times.
Serbia.
Also, it could just be, I believe, like these national teams have been playing together for a while, so they have that chemistry. They have all the confidence in each other and everything like that. And I feel like with Team USA, they're never sending the constant same group of guys to go play as to they can. That's why they'll never be able to build that elite chemistry and trust in one another.
Yeah.
You have any
Nah,
thoughts
what
on it,
Khalil
bro?
said. Yeah, nah, what Khalil said, man. I think the rest of the nation is catching up, man. A lot of these teams are putting some of their best players in, and they're bringing results. The game is changing, and we already know that the people game is a little bit different than the American basketball game. It's more about sharing the balls, passing, and more team play than anything. American basketball is kind of like that, but when you have a couple stars, the game is kind of centered around them than anything. So it's kind of different. And a lot of these players, like LeBron, Steph, I mean, I've witnessed Embiid miss at least 8 layups so far, and he's like 7'2", 7'3", and that's crazy to me. But yeah, it's more, team oriented game, and a lot of these, like Lil was saying, a lot of these guys have been playing together for a long time, and that chemistry is on point, and they're making USA play like America, like they're making USA play their best basketball, and if they don't play their best basketball, they're gonna lose, and that's gonna be very, very tough. But I think if they can focus, I feel like we can still come out and win the gold. But if they don't win it, this is probably our last best chance of dominating the national game
I
with this
agree.
last with this team.
I agree with both y'all answers. I do think that factors in both of those answers factor into the equation. But I think if in my personal opinion, what I see adding on to y'all opinions is style of play, like how y'all was saying. Those other teams, I don't think there will ever be a talent. I don't think they've caught up talent wise, to be honest. I think Team USA is far and beyond the most talented team in the world, far and beyond. Still, just how they was in the Dream Team. But at the same time, maybe the gap isn't that big as it was the Dream Team days. But
Yeah, that
I
was a
do
40
think the
point,
style. What happened?
40 point. Yeah, they was winning by 40-point spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think the
yeah,
style of play with the 3 point shot is really opened up. Like when you can threes are the equalizer, right? Right. You don't have to
yeah.
be as talented as a guy to shoot a three. That's why LeBron and Steph can go back and forth winning rings from each other. We know that LeBron is vastly more talented, but Steph is the best shooter of all time. And the 3 point shot is the most valuable shot in the game. And he is the strongest at it by, I say, a pretty wide
By
margin
far.
at this point.
For sure.
Yeah,
So that's the great equalizer with things. So at the end of the and Steve Kerr built a great system around those Warriors teams, even though they were overloaded with talent, we still would put LeBron number one as far as talent when it was those Cavs versus Warriors series. I'd liken it back to when the Miami Heat played the Spurs. The Heat
oh man,
always had more talent, but the Spurs had success because they played a style of basketball that was beautiful as far as passing it, as far as shooting, as far as playing team defense. Those are real teams. And I don't
yeah.
know, some people, I ain't gonna say y'all too young to watch it, but y'all probably a little bit younger and older people. That was around peak basketball, in my view and experience, peak basketball time. Those Spurs teams, the last couple of Tim Duncan teams were peak basketball. They seem unbeatable. They always
Yeah.
seem to make the right play every time. Pass up a good shot to a great shot. Um, so with me saying that, I think that's more of what's going on in the Olympics. A lot of teams are adopting those Spurs philosophies, especially with coaches getting put on coaching staffs, being assistant coaches and personal trainers here in the United States and taking those philosophies back to their home countries and instilling those principles. Most people, I ain't gonna say most people, a lot of people would consider Greg Popovich at least the top three basketball coach of all time, well, NBA at least, of all time.
Facts.
So when you're coming from that coaching street and you're installing those principles into these national teams and these professional clubs overseas and in different countries and things of that nature, we're starting to see those principles all over. And that is the great equalizer, in my opinion. Moving on, because we spent a lot of time thinking about that. Also, y'all like the video, comment on the video, tell us what y'all think. Y'all think that the USA being caught up on? What do y'all think is the reason that these games are closer and we still depending on 40-year-old Go James to pull us out a win in the Olympics over teams of the likes of South Sudan? But moving on from that topic, this will be the final one that we talk about tonight. I saw this, full disclosure. I saw this on Twitter. Y'all can follow us on there, Third 12 Minute Podcast. We also on Instagram, same name. TikTok, the same name. I saw this and it was an interesting topic. Players that you thought were going to be a superstar, NBA edition. We can start off with you, Byron. Can you give us a player or two who you thought would be a superstar and why you thought they'd be a superstar in the NBA?
1 second. I thought Dennis Smith Jr. was going to be a wonderful, wonderful superstar in this league. Coming out of, I believe, NC State, he was a highly ranked player, dominant in the college game. Wonderful athleticism. He's still young. I mean, this man's 26 years old. And it's just crazy. He's only averaging 6.6 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and shooting 44% from the field, which is not bad. But I would think that this man, when he got drafted with the Dallas Mavericks, he was supposed to be Luka's number 2, and they're supposed to, take that team to new heights and try to take Dallas over that board and win the championship. But he was quickly traded and then traded again, and then I believe traded once again. Now he's just pretty much a journeyman at this point. Still has a decent amount of athleticism, but just the scoring the ball and being a consistent role player on a championship or any kind of contending team, he's not that, and that was very, very disappointing to see.
He's more known for defense now. He's been known as a great on-ball defender. Actually, I think he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the league at his position, to be honest. But I feel you. I feel you. He was the truth. He was definitely the truth.
And man was doing things in NC, going crazy.
And I didn't get it because he was doing everything you want a point guard to do. It wasn't just these athletic plays. At NC State, he was running the pick and roll, setting up all his teammates, scoring. He wasn't even playing this great defense. Now I get it. Now he's buckling down and seeing how he can be most effective in the league. But beforehand, obviously he has great bounce. Probably, I mean, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but kind of up there with Russ as far as most athletic point guards in the league, along with Jaden Ivey as well. Another athletic point guard. What happened?
I said,
Can't forget Job, man.
Oh, and Job probably another level from everybody right now.
Yeah. That boy bodying everybody.
Shout out John Moran.
I honestly thought Dennis Smith Jr. was going to be like the second coming, like a more athletic type of Dame Lillard.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Not as shooting wise. He wasn't.
No, not shooting wise, but I could see a lot of the game involved, like Damian Lillard's type of game involved with Dennis Smith Jr. kind of coming off the pick and roll, looking to just kill, stuff like that.
Okay, getting downhill.
You know, Dennis reminded me of Steve Francis. There was a lot of Steve Francis to his game, but obviously,
or BD.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't work out, unfortunately. Who'd you have, Khalil?
I had Austin Rivers.
Oh man, one of the best highlight tapes ever.
What? One of the best highlight tapes. To one of the top ranked players coming out of high school, went to Duke, did his thing. Was a top 10 pick. And then kind of, just became, I want to say, a rotational player. I think his best season, he averaged 15 points. I think he only had 2 seasons where he averaged double-digit points. Career average is about 8 points a game. Honestly, from when I was younger watching him play, I even went to see him at the City of Palms. When I was younger watching him play and everything and seeing what he did in college, I kind of seen him being how Devin Booker was today, how Devin Booker is today. Just kind of the one dude that can come and just get straight buckets, whether it be mid-range, attacking the rim, shooting the three. The dude was honestly unstoppable. In high school, he averaged about 30 points a game. So I just don't really know how that didn't translate to the game. He had his father was in the league, was a coach in the league. He had all the tools that he needed to be a superstar in this league. and it just didn't work out how I thought it was going to be going to.
But and then that man was a bucket in high school. Almost in college, he was like a bucket too. And that boy was going. He had
He
some
was
big
averaging
shots.
like 16, 17 a game.
Yeah, he was getting some big shots in dude. Oh man.
Why do you think it didn't work out for him personally? Besides everything you just said, like, why do you think it didn't work out? Like, we know he was a spectacular prospect, but why do you think it didn't go his way?
It could have had stuff
The
to do with
talent
the
gap.
system he was brung into. But I don't know. I feel like most players that kind of come into the league after their father have, just kind of that pressure and everything.
Yeah. I think he just didn't put enough time in to be like
That could be it too. It could be also,
great.
the one, who are we talking about? The one situation where it was kind of like, oh, never mind. It was when we were discussing this topic. So I'll let Brock go and everything before I even say anything because I don't know who he's picking yet.
I had two players. One was Andrew Wiggins. I'm pretty sure everybody thought Wiggs was going to be, I mean, to be honest,
Canadian Michael Jordan.
the next Michael Jordan, the next Kawhi Leonard. Like those are the types of players. He was nicknamed Maple Jordan in high school because he's from Canada. Disappointed that he isn't playing for Team USA. I think I saw a report that the Warriors are kind of doing something weird with him. I was about to say something freaky going on with bro, but at the end of the day, everybody saw his mixtape, arguably a top 5 high school mixtapes of all time.
Yeah.
We might do a high school mixtape ranking video one day for y'all, man.
Seventh Woods.
But hey,
Marcus LeVet.
For sure.
Marcus LeVet.
John Wall, obviously.
John Wall.
At the end of the day, though, Andrew Wiggins still has it all, but as far as athleticism, I mean, damn, the Buck kind of started that. I think he could be a good on-ball defender. Definitely helped the Warriors win that championship. Definitely was a valuable role player. But he was expected to take the Minnesota Timberwolves, who is my team, to greater heights than what he took them to. Obviously, he was essentially traded for Kevin Love, a Hall of Fame player. And obviously, at this point, we know that the Cavs won that trade. But at the end of the day, I think he could have had better vision, a higher level of work ethic, and that's when a lot of things surrounded Andrew Wiggins were, especially what Jimmy Butler was saying. Basically, y'all don't got it, y'all don't have that want to be great. You're just blessed with the talent, and you're kind of coasting. And I think there's been whispers that around the league, like when Andrew Wiggins is on the court, he seemed to be called apathetic, like I don't know if that's a kind way of calling a brother lazy, but in my opinion, that's kind of a kind way of calling a brother lazy. But at the end of the day, he made it to the league, #1 overall pick. He's been getting max contracts, but that was a player who I thought honestly would be in contention for best player in the league at this point. And it's unfortunate. I did have one more player, but is there something you want to say, Khalid?
No, that's what I was going to say about the Austin Rivers situation. Just pretty much he could have got comfortable with his position in the league and just kind of didn't want to feel like didn't want to put any more work in and stuff like that to elevate his talent and stuff like that, or elevate his
a lot of guys.
Quickly, the last player I'll mention is Marvin Bagley III. Man, first of all, it sucks because he's in a historic draft, right? He's in a historic draft. He went before, make sure he went before, the
a lot of great
#1 that year. He went before Trey, Luka, a lot of good players in that 2018 draft. I can name at least 10 more that he went before that are all-star caliber players. I thought he was going to be really, really good. He's another Duke guy, right, Byron?
Yeah. Disappointed me, man.
Duke.
Disappointed me, bro. Yeah, he did great at Duke, man. Mid-range. He reminded me of Bosh. He reminded me of Bosh at his height. Like he had a
Right.
nice little midi jumper, great
Definitely.
defense, getting to the rim, things like that. Then
Jumped out the gym.
got to the league and did nothing.
Yeah. I thought he would rebound better. I honestly thought he'd be a better
At least
defender.
that. But he's
Yeah.
only what, 6'8", 6'9"?
Nah, he got decent height. He probably up there 7 foot.
No, I don't think he's
And
7 foot.
bounce out the ass.
He got
Yeah.
balance for sure.
I'm not sure the size is lacking, pause, but I think I don't know. Honestly, I can't really tell you why Marvin Bagley just didn't have it. I seem like when he get out on the floor, I hate to put this out there because I don't want to make it seem like I'm calling the player dumb. It's just that it doesn't seem like he's the highest IQ basketball player. It seems like when he get the ball, it turns into a black hole too. Like he get the ball, he doesn't have the thought process like I'm gonna create in order to get a shot for my teammates or
A
stay in the
shot for
flow of
yourself.
the offense. It just seemed like his whole thing is like, I'm gonna try to score and then I'm gonna put up an inefficient attempt. I won't even say he's gonna make the shot. He put up an inefficient attempt. Didn't do that well with obviously Sacramento basically gave him away for a bag of chips. And then didn't do that well in Detroit where you have all the opportunity in Detroit with all due respect.
Yeah. You go to hell if you go to Detroit. That's basketball hell.
I'm
Purgatory.
trying to be every time.
That's basketball purgatory right there. You go there, you might as well put up every shot.
That boy Cade found his life away.
What?
Yeah.
And you sleep. Shout out to Tobias Harris. Get into the bag.
Tobias Harris over me. Over me.
But those were two players who I thought would be superstars in the league. Obviously, Khalil mentioned Austin Rivers and Byron mentioned Dennis Smith Jr. But
Pretty sure we can all agree on Michael Beasley too.
Oh man. Michael Beasley's supposed to be in the GOAT. Low key.
Anytime I hear the story about how he used to give
Michael Beasley's supposed to be in the GOAT.
He used to give LeBron and everyone buckets one-on-one. I'm like, man, bro.
He still give buckets.
I know.
Yeah, the big three.
Averaged 28 in high school.
Yeah.
Didn't take nothing off. He averaged 28 and 16 in high school. Coming to college, he averaged 28 and 12.
Yep. Yeah, he still has some of the best college numbers in history.
Yeah. I think he averaged a double-double. Like, what, 28 and 15?
12.
28 and 12.
Like you said. Yeah. That's crazy.
I always remember him, yeah. The game when he put back dunk.
What happened?
I said I always remember him for that game when he put back dunk. I think it was like against the Cavs.
Oh, he bodied a bit. This was when he was in New York, right?
I think it was the same game that D-Wade dunked on Varejao.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that?
Hey.
That game, that was a nasty game, bro.
Yeah. I think we
golden
covered
age of basketball.
What happened?
I'll say that was the golden age of basketball.
So, I think we covered everybody. Right there. Hey, Josh Giddey is another one, but I digress. I don't even know if I want to talk about that.
Whoa. A minor.
But but at the end of the day, we all eager to get back to NCAA 25. Like I said, join the Discord, man. Hit up any one of us individually or our channels on the various social media apps under 3012 Innings. Get in the comments, drop your gamer tag. We can add you to the Discord, add you to our dynasty that, is looking rough. I'll just say somebody got Texas State and they doing stuff like putting up 900 passing yards a game. Other
13-0.
What happened? Champions
13-0.
Just ring me. That's all I know. Ring me.
That boy fourth in the playoffs. The bye week game.
Hey, don't be intimidated though, because there's other factors to the game, and I ain't gonna bring that up. But at the end of the
one
day,
season great.
But
we'll catch up with the recruits. We'll catch up.
But this been a good episode though, man. This is fun. Episode 62. Y'all go watch our other content. And appreciate y'all for having us.
Thanks.
For sure.
Yes, man. 13-0. You don't